Alright everybody, you're here with Benjamin Kallenberg from www.consciousazine.com Productions. Now, I want to talk about Vision Chilli. Alright, let's see how good a shot we can get. There we are, in the light. It's Richmond Hill, I'll just read it out. Turns blue blood red. Gluten-free, because you got to have that little marketing symbol. Gluten-free. Toughen up, princess, it says on there. Now, they're very hot chilies. It says 12 out of 10. I don't know what type of chilies they are. Let's see if it says. No. But, I've been following this guy's work. I got this from Yukai General Store when I was visiting Keita out at the Steam Funk Happy High Herb store, and next door there in the general store at Yukai, someone's making this and it says not for pussies and all these funny labels, so I had to go and oh yeah, that is hot. Now this is the hottest one I've ever bought. This is going to last me like 5 years. It's ridiculously hot. When I opened this, I first licked the cap and I paid the price like I was crying and having vision and crying in front of my boss. You know, watering eyes and all that. And now I wanted to talk about this. Well, it is Vision Chilli. You know, what I intended to do was see if it was anywhere in relation, chilies in relation to Ibogaine or Ibogaine, the psychedelic. I was like, damn, it's not. It's like Apicosia, and then chilies are like under capsicum in Solanaceae family, I think. So completely different families and everything, but they are Vision chilies because I remember when I had this the first time, I licked the cap like an idiot and just dove in, and for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, I was pretty blown away and just watering and crying, you know, and having vision. And it cleared me, at least for the first 10 minutes. I was like in vision. So it's a full clearing, and hey, The Simpsons had an episode on it, you know, where Homer has the chilies at that fair or something, so it's true. Such a good reference, The Simpsons, hey? Now, what else does chili do? Well, I noticed it takes away my pain. I love chili because it takes away my pain in the body, and anything good that I feel like high vibe and heighten my vibration in my body and stuff and feel less pain and so on, I'll actually try and swallow many times around my lymph system. Now this has substance P reactivity, I suspect. Substance P is a pain marker in our body, and it's what cayenne pepper reacts with, substance P, and it's so cayenne pepper stops pain in the body as well. So yeah, this is Vision Chilli, and we're about to go check out, we're at Cabarita, and we're about to go down the track, not to sit in the car. We're going to go check out a garden, well, a trail that I think the Cabarita school kids, I'm across the road from the Cabarita school right now, I think the school kids have made this trail with the community, I think, and obviously Aboriginal knowledge. And this is just awesome. When I stumbled on this, I went, I've been surfing here for years, and now this trail's up, and I'm just stoked. And this is what I want everywhere, and I've been trying to push things like the Suriname Brazilian bush cherry, the wild Brazilian bush cherry, to schools. I haven't written any formal letters or anything yet because I'm busy in essays and typing code for uni because I'm an IT programmer. So I'm just about to finish uni, and then I'm going to start petitioning, that's for sure, and I'm capable of writing letters to these people and telling them why. But I've been trying to, you know, get the little kids drunk on the Suriname ferment. No, because the Suriname cherries ferment a bit on the tree. I was rethinking it like, hey, maybe it might hype the kids up a bit and get them a little tipsy. So there's probably a better cherry bush you can put at schools, like blueberries. That goes with learning and the nervous system and the brain. So why aren't there blueberry bushes as hedges at every school? There you go, that'll do. Anyway, you know, I'm just glad that they've made this trail, and we'll go check it out in a minute, but first we're going to discuss 2 more products. Black Whitener. Hope you can see that. Black Whitener. and remineralizer. 10 gram only. And it's black, and it makes your mouth black, but it whitens your teeth all in all, because it has in it some very nice ingredients. I got this from the lobbyist group I was working for a while, and that's Caldera Environmental in Murwillumbah. I was doing work for the dole with them for a little while. Now this is coral calcium, coconut charcoal, bentonite clay, licorice root, and turmeric. So coral calcium up the top ingredient. That's awesome. I feel its effects on strengthening my gums. So you use that regularly, and I just dip my tongue into it every time. Propolis. Oh, thanks Keita from Happy High Herbs in Ukai Steamfunk shop, because recommending Benjamin Cowberg Golden Propolis was a good idea. Yeah, this is life-changing. Definitely, it's a good product. Good product. By Natural Life, I think then. Let me read some stuff off this. Now you can use this topically if you've got a sore. That's why this is one of my favourite tinctures now. Swab affected area with tincture up to 3 times daily. Oral, take 5 to 10 drops, 1.25 ml in water daily. So you're not meant to take much at all. I take the whole dropper because that's how I roll, and I take 2 droppers sometimes. I like something David Wolf said in one of his videos online. Because we're dealing with medicine, it's a case of take 2,000 and call me next month. So yeah, because it's medicine, you can take a nice higher dose. Now this is definitely life-changing, this Propolis. I'm feeling it's I like taking tinctures at the end of every day, and I'm feeling this one is a good one. Just whenever I feel parasitical action, like if I feel hungry, take this sort of stuff, take tinctures, because it seems to just quail whatever parasites hacking into your nervous system trying to make you eat something when you don't really need it, and you're most likely craving something else anyway. Like sometimes we're craving fats, and we're eating rancid fats, and we're not really getting to the point, and so on. Anyway, so yeah, really good product. Propolis, supporting healthy immune system and oral health, contains active bioflavonoids, natural antioxidant. So it's containing natural bioflavonoids, and this is, let's just show people. Let me show you. And it's actually black. So here's a little bit. If I can bring the camera back up. Yes, we're still recording, good. So it's quite dark. You can see it's quite dark there. It's black. It's a blacky gold. And it's black gold, alright. This is the real black gold. And it's a longevity substance. Now you're going to take a bit of water with it because it's thick. And what's propolis? Remember, they feed that to the queen bee, and the queen bee has the same genes as all the other bees, but grows huge and pumps out egg after egg, so is very, very fertile. Fertility is linked to longevity too, and vitality. So you don't want to live forever and feel like crap. No wonder a lot of people say to me, "Oh Ben, why would you want to live forever? Or why would you want to live for 1,000 years? Geez, you've just revealed to me your subconscious, that you're not even conscious of your own pain. That's what you just revealed to me with those comments, and many people have said it to me. Why would you want to live 1,000 years? By saying that, you've shown me how much in pain you are, because when you're cosmic ecstaticus, connected to the universe from root to crown, why not live? You are alive and you feel great, and why not keep living? It's all the pain that all the painful people are creating that makes you not say that, and makes you not want to live 1,000 years, and the pain that you're in, and the way you're eating and thinking and so on. So let's go have a look at this trail, hey, because it's definitely a great idea, and I'm just so glad that somewhere in Australia they've started this. I mean, we're close-knit to the Aboriginals, but yeah, it's that time. What time? The Great Eschaton, the Apocalypse, you know, the time of the native uprising. The indigenous people return. And so this is where it starts, just across the road from the school. And I like this. It's just a little sign saying, please carry full containers of water, because it really helps. And so they've got a tap, and the track starts down there to the left, but it's quite, well, it's 100 meters down. And to clear the chakras, we can do like this. Start with yam, sam, lamb, ham. And then for the third eye, om. For the crown, silence. Alright, let me read this to you. Coast Banksia woodland. Bush Tucker Trail starts here. In the Tweed Shire, and what a great way to teach the kids. In the Tweed Shire, about 75% of Coast Banksia forests and woodland has been cleared since European settlements. 75% of Coast Banksia forest and woodland has been cleared since European settlement. This remnant is of high conservation significance because of the habitat and connectivity value it provides for local flora and fauna communities. Coast Banksia, Banksia integrifolia, is an important winter food source for a range of local fauna at a time when many other native plants are not flowering. The threatened eastern blossom bat forages often evening on Banksia pollen and nectar, and roosts during the day in patches of rainforest, such as that on the headland of Cabarita up north there. So let's go. Plantings undertaken in 2012 include several local species that were used for food, medicine or materials. Interpretive signage is provided. Let's go. Oh, it starts here. The tuckaroo. So let's have a look. I'm going to research these on the internet. Cupanipsis, Canapsis, Anacardiosis. I'm getting better with my scientific names. This small tree is common to littoral rainforest and has orange fruiting capsules, which split into 3 sections revealing shiny black seeds surrounded by soft yellow flesh. The fruit was a food source for local aborigines. The larvae of the common pencil blue butterfly feed on the leaves, and the fruit attracts many bird species including the olive-backed aroli and figbird. It's the tuckaroo. I don't know if that's this plant or not. Could be, the leaves look similar. So they're not established yet, they've just planted these a few years ago. It's all in the process. So we're at the forefront. Charcula quadrifida peanut tree. Oh whoa. Aborigines ate the peanut flavoured seeds of this deciduous tree either raw or roasted after removing their black skins. The bark contained strong fibres which were used in the preparation of twine. Leaves were crushed and applied to wounds. An infusion of bark was used for eye complaints, and heated leaves were pressed on stings. So there's a few edibles around and medicinals. Pig face, I shot a video with this in it. Similar qualities to aloe vera, which I didn't know and didn't get told in my video. The juice from the fresh leaves was used to relieve midgie bites. Midgies are not mozzies, they're the smaller ones. Like call them sandflies around here too. My dad used to call them sandflies or midgie. They're really tiny. Anyway, the seeds were roasted and then ground into flour. So the seeds can be roasted and ground into flour, from which an acidic paste was prepared and cooked on hot stones. Yeah, remember, nuts, roots, seeds and muscle or meat break down acidic. So that's right. It said, you know, the seeds were roasted then ground into flour from which an acidic paste was prepared. Because nuts, roots, seeds and muscle or meat, they break down acidic in your body, and that's why we need to eat the greens of stuff, the leaves of many things. So that's pig face, and I did have that in my video, I think it was 2014 foraging forensics video. Oh, here's another one. The coastal waddle, which is this one we're sitting under, which many people have illegally camped under. Look how nice it is to camp under. You just hollow out a little space and you get some protection from the sun. No bean. Sorry on the camera work. No bean. Acacia longifolia subspecies Saphoria. Coastal wattle. This 3-meter shrub is used for sand stabilizer. Grub lines on the trunk indicate the start of fish running north. A liquid made by soaking the bark in hot water was used for tanning and preserving skins and nets, as well as medicine for indigestion. So that's if you have indigestion, you can make a liquid by soaking the bark in hot water. Bark was used to make coarse string, and the wood used for weapons. Seeds were eaten raw or roasted or used for decoration. That's that guy. Oh, there's so many on this trail. Beach flax lily. Beach flax lily. Dianella congesta. The leaves of this mat-forming perennial herb were used for weaving sandals, nets, baskets. The blue fruit is edible in small quantities and has a sweet flavour, which becomes nutty once the seeds are chewed. I may have had this. The starchy base of the root was pounded and toasted on hot rocks. So the starchy base of the root was pounded and toasted on hot rocks. And you can eat the seeds, and you can... Where is it? Is it this one? I think it is. Yes, it is. There we go. I think I had this next to where I was living up in the mountain in 2014, 2 years ago from now, or a year and a half ago from now. And yeah, I think I've eaten them. So their description's accurate there. I can vouch for that one. Glad the Aborigines are probably glad I vouched. No. Just kidding. Hibiscus Taliesin, cottonwood. Yeah, these Aboriginals know what they're doing, huh? Mungali. That might be, what, a sort of second Aboriginal name for it, I think. So, is that this one? It's almost like the other one. No, hold on. Let's just see from, I'm not sure. Hibiscus Taliesin. Fishing nets and ropes were made from the outer bark. The inner bark was used for making dilly bags. Fishing lines and the wood was used for fire and foreshields. So you can make fishing line out of the inner bark. Mungali is used to cool fevers and soothe coughs, the leaves. Treat dysentery, the bark. Ear infections and abscesses, the flowers. For skin complaints and as a laxative, the bark and flower are used. Whoa. So as you can see, they would have had to have experimented with this and then told, you know, they have their story time and they tell the young people about the uses and obviously go out during the day and show them and all that. So we don't have this in our society, and that's why I'm so stoked this is starting up. I'm very happy about this. Not just because it's going to educate the kids, just because now I can shoot a video on it and get this on YouTube, and all the kids in the world can see. Ha! Rhodomyrtus piscidiodus, native guava. Oh, nice. So this is a shrubbery tree which grows to 12 meters in wet sclerophyll forest and dry rainforest. The young shoots are covered with fine hairs, giving them brown velvet appearance. Leaves are opposite with very distinct It is in the same family as the eucalypt zygum and very prone to myrtle rust infection. The fruit should not be eaten. So that's not an edible. But as you can see, like 4 out of 5 are edible. Or medicinal. This is cork wood. What's this good for? The leaves are potentially toxic. The plant has been used in homeopathy to treat eye disorders. The wood is used for carving. Okay. Coastal Waddle. Yeah, we already looked at that one. Yeah. Not bad at all, huh? God, how good it is to be able to do this. That this is here, you know? I'm learning so much already. Alphitonia excisa, red ash. Alphitonia excisa, red ash. Soap tree. The crushed leaves of this medium-sized tree can be lathered to produce a bush soap, as they contain saponin, which has disinfectant properties, indeed. Leaves were crushed in warm water to make a bath for headache patients. So you can make a soap, and then the leaves can also be crushed in the same way in warm water to make a bath for headache patients. An infusion of bark and root was used as a liniment or gargle for toothpaste. An infusion of the bark and the root was used as a liniment or gargle for toothache. Young shoots which smell of sarsaparilla were used to relieve an upset stomach. Crushed leaves and berries were used in waterways to stun fish. So you can stun fish with the red ash. The soap tree, because it's got saponins, or a saponin in there. These ones are called macarangas, these big leaf things. They're everywhere. So this blady grass, the leaves were used and stems were used for weaving and thatching, and the young flowers are edible. The rhizome or root of the grass was also eaten. So that's just the grass in front of us. By the looks of it, yeah. So it's called Imperata cylindrica. So it has a sweet coconut flavour, the root, and can be eaten. Blady grass is a host plant for a number of butterfly larvae, including the dusky night butterfly, and provides shelter for other small fauna. Another edible. Gee, and it's grass. Yeah, so did everyone know that, you know, grass is the only plant to have been recorded with all known minerals in it, you know? If you think about it, it makes sense too, because grass is just everywhere and it's fully adapted and seems to be able to grow out the crack of a concrete, hey? Did you also know that possibly in the top 5 is wild tobacco and wild hemp plants, of nutritionist plants in the world? Check that out. What's going on there? What, and you know, we can make 50,000 textiles. Imagine if we could have just a little hemp crop here. The kids could make their own school uniforms if they wanted. That would be embroidery class and all that stuff all in one, huh? And you'd learn it from the ground up where it's come from and everything. How empowering. This is the midgeonberry. Oh, at last. No, there's none on here, but this is the bush. So this is the midgeonberry bush. See here with the small leaves in front of here? That's it, the midgeonberry. Semi-prostate spreading shrub, 2 meters with, sorry, I'll get out of your view a bit. 2 meters with flaky bark and white flowers from spring to autumn. It has edible white berries with black spots giving them a grey mauve appearance. As a bush tucker plant, the seeds and sweet fruit were eaten raw. The leaves were also used as a tea. So you can use the leaves as a tea. I'm taking some. Yoink. I'm just going to take a few leaves. Leave plenty for everyone else. Just going to take a little handful. Strip him a bit. Alright. Put them in the pocket. Free tea! I've got like 20 something teas in my tea bag. That can be number 23. I have a shaman tea bag. It's always spilling over with just different teas. Yeah, see, post eschaton I've been adding it. The earth is giving me. So everyone's probably wondering how I just suddenly am okay when I was begging for donations at the start of this series, just 2 years ago. That's because that was right at the eschaton in 2013, and as a Christ Maitreya, a Maitreya Christ, which is the current carnative energy of Christ energy, which I think is light body relative and fifth dimensionally relative, all Christ Maitreya was stripped into the eschaton. And that's also where I learnt about health. You need to strip or detox, right? And then you build back up. Like, you take chlorella first for the stripping, and then you take spirulina for the building after. As a quick example for health. Melastoma affini, or affini, whatever. I don't know how to say these. Native Lysiandra, blue tongue. Yeah, there's a name I can stick with. I like how the Aboriginals named them all just simple, so that they can. That's how I save things too. Like, like blue tongue, I might save in my brain as just good to eat. If it says here we can eat it, hold on. But you know, that's how I save things. Just you don't always have to have all the details. Like, you can just save that cayenne pepper's good for you, whether you know it reacts with substance P, a pain marker in our body, in a positive way or not. You just save, okay, cayenne pepper good for me under certain circumstances, etc. This small shrub grows to 2 meters at sites with high soil moisture. It has rosy pink or purple flowers. Beautiful. The sweet fruit are brown, scaly, semi-succulent capsules which can be eaten. But the purple-black pulp is likely to stain the tongue blue. Nice. So you can eat the sweet fruit of that one. Another edible! This is awesome. I'm moving to the bush. No, I warned, if anyone ever copyrights me or anything, or I go under intense litigation, I'm out of there, mate. And I'll just live here in peace in the bush and not help people. So that's why I need people to stand behind me too, because that way I wouldn't be able to help, would I? I had to be in constant exile. Anyway, is that the Macaranga? Oh my god, it's an nasturtium tree. I didn't even know that. So before I said this is Macaranga, I just saw it on a sign once, and I've seen the tree everywhere, the one with the big leaves that I pointed to just before. Well, it's just there in front of us. That one over there, and there's a little baby just there. See that one? That's a nasturtium tree! Oh my god! I had no idea that was a nasturtium tree. This is awesome. Macaranga tanarius is a nasturtium tree. Nasturtiums that, well, I've got a video on that one too. So you can watch the video on nasturtium to see what that is. This small, and this is part of the $30 Bandit Food Plant Teaching Series, which is part of consciousazine.com Productions, this video. This small tree is found in disturbed littoral and subtropical rainforests and regrowth. Leaves were used as plates and for wrapping food, because they're huge. The timber was made into light spears and bark fibers were used for twine and rope. The leaf ash was used to cure the enlarged bellies of babies, and the leaves were used as a contraceptive. The leaves were used as a contraceptive. What, they wrapped it around their penis maybe, I'm thinking, because it's not very, it's pretty ambiguous there. So it's very possible that, I don't know how they've used this as a contraceptive. It says the leaves were used as a contraceptive. Maybe that's something we can research before I make wild accusations and piss everyone off, eh? So it's not an edible nasturtium tree, so my excitement wasn't as warranted, but yeah. This is the corkwood again. I encourage you not to double up if you're making a trail. Oh, beach flax lily again. But I guess they're trying to establish certain foods in this area. So, you know, if one dies, one upstream might live. Because here is the flax lily again. Just there, you can see how it grows. Comes out with this top little tuft there. I think we might be at the end of the trail of fauna. Whoa, what's going on here? Oh, just a sign. There's the beautiful beach, Carburetor. Well, there's the back beach. The headland's just up there to the left. What do we have here? New Zealand spinach. Cool, sounds good. Where is it? Oh, here it is. That's it there. So that's the New Zealand spinach. You can tell by the picture on there. I hope you guys can see that because it looks pretty dark on the camera. So that's New Zealand spinach there. You want to look at the photo there, see, it's definitely it. The young, because look, everything else is totally different around here. The young shoots and leaves of this succulent ground cover can be eaten as a green vegetable, cooked or raw. Oh, nice. However, they are high in oxalic acid, and you can get weird oxalate diseases and calcium diseases relating to this, so which can be removed by blanching. So you can blanch it or lightly cook it, like you would with spinach. It's just another spinach. This New Zealand spinach fed Captain James Cook and his crew and prevented scurvy, and so did pig face back there, by the way. I had that in my video, so they must have eaten this with pig face in salads or something, eh? Or, you know, as their side salad of their meal or something, with some pippies or fish. I can imagine. Sir Joseph Banks took seeds back to England, where the plant became a popular summer vegetable. It was rarely eaten by Aborigines or Maoris, sorry. So it was rarely eaten by the Aborigines or the Maoris, but when the European settlers came, they ate it. I might actually just eat a bit. Oh yeah. Tastes a little bit like Ceylon spinach, if you've ever had Ceylon spinach. I've had Ceylon spinach in one of my videos, the very first video I think, where I started this food plant teaching series. Come so far. Oh, it's been awesome, hey. Look what I get to do. I just encourage everyone else to do this. Not because it's a good lifestyle, but because imagine being able to walk anywhere like this. We're at the end. So imagine being able to just walk anywhere like this and just picking off your green, going for a swim in the ocean, you clean off for free. Can you see all the freedom? Do I have to make a spiel? Must I spiel? You know, you can just see this in every little track around here, right? And say when these plants are more developed, you come along, you have a few berries, you have a few green leaves. And I mean, we've got more than that, don't we? There was flower. If all these plants were on and like thriving and they were a bit older and established, you'd have, you know, not just, you'd have nuts, seeds, roots, greens, a salad, and a plate. This is that Macaranga nasturtium, and you can see why they use it as a plate. It's really big leaves. But you know, you could plant the Suriname cherry here, Ceylon spinach, you could plant, what's it called? Davidson plum around here, which is a native. So you know, the options are really wide, and why are we living in scarcity? I find it funny that some people go to work in order to make money in order to buy the spinach which they could have grown at home, and they could have stayed home from work to eat it. Now that's plausible. People are doing that out there. Yeah, it's harder with a big family, but people are also doing that out there. Check YouTube. There's a revolution of permaculture going on, such a key word like gluten-free. So, you know, all these plants, I think they're gluten-free. If that helps with the marketing and gets you out here. Yeah, just what I feel great to be able to just walk here. I feel a lot more relaxed and I feel safer. You know, there's a saying that you'll get safety when life means more to you than safety. That's when you'll receive safety. And I feel a lot safer knowing, you know, knowledge is power, and knowing that I can eat half of this stuff. If this was all going, you'd have nectar and everything from the guava back there, you know, that New Zealand spinach. You got your greens. Put a lemon tree here and olive tree and an avocado tree. Huh? And you know, we can do this around every trail, and everybody carries the water. If it looks like they really need a feed, well, of water or a drink, I might carry a bottle of water down. And that would really establish community too. What a beautiful walk. Didn't get to see any of the black cockatoos, which I love so much, with their yellow face. But yeah, I wish this could happen everywhere, hey? Beautiful. Even got a peanut tree. Well done, guys. So this is all made by the Tweed Shire Council in association with Aboriginals. We've got a photo here by Stephanie Haslam, Cabarita Beach Baganga Residents Association, and the local school. Well done.